So I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. And I was trying to think of it. I was trying to think, how could I discuss this Giant team who over the last 20 games is 3-17? I was trying to think, what is the best way to look at this situation and not want to fucking vomit? Because that's what it is. This is a shit show wrapped in a sea of diarrhea. And for all the people that told us, not just me, that told us we're negative, we don't know what we're talking about, we don't understand football, that for the last 3 seasons, we have just been negative Nancy's, or 2.5 seasons, or 2.25 seasons. I just don't know what to say to you, because you know what? I know what to say.
I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
I've been taking plenty of Tylenol. But that really sums up Joe Shane and Brian Daboll to a nutshell. That really just sums this up. And it just also sums up John Mara. I've been saying now for the last couple of weeks that you are just having to look at this scenario and this situation and just say, what are they missing? When a moron like me can literally break down the last 3 weeks, and we're gonna get to the Smash Mouth, Baller, and Scatterboo in a minute, because you guys got to fucking stop. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain to you why. But literally, when you see this garbage, and a moron like me can literally dissect for the last 3 weeks everything an opponent should do and will do and then did to beat the Giants, I don't know what else to say. Because it's not brain surgery to figure out how to beat this team. It's not brain surgery to figure out that once you go up against a actual defense coordinator with an actual secondary, that there are going to be problems. And that's what happened when we went up against Spags. Spags is a guy that is probably, I've said this before, he should be in the Hall of Fame as a defensive coordinator. Going back to his time in Philadelphia, going back to his time with us, going back to his time now in Kansas City, he should be in the Hall of Fame as a defense coordinator. So you would think that Mike Kafka would be overmatched. But it's the play calling, it's the inability to stop. It's the play calling, it's the inability to evaluate talent, it's the ability to over-evaluate talent. Can we talk about Drew Phillips for a minute? And I'm going to get to everyone in the chat. Can we talk about Drew Phillips for a minute? I've been saying since last year that Drew Phillips, while he makes a lot of tackles, is not a guy that you want in coverage. And it was shown again last night when Patrick Mahomes was picking on him. It showed when he gave up the touchdown, which is on the cover here. It showed when he had the bad interception. He is Eli Apple without Eli Apple talent. And for some reason, Giant fans have anointed him the Hall of Fame slot corner, which I've never heard of, but that's all right. But he's not good. He's not good in coverage. He's not good in man coverage. He's not good in zone coverage. He gets beat like he stole something the last 3 weeks. The last 12 games that he started the year previously, he'll be in the first 6 games, he will probably give up more yards than he gave up last year in 12. And he gave up a lot of yards last year in 12. But he's an over-evaluated player that Giant fans glom onto because it's their God-given right that we need to have this wonderful talent. Even though if you watched him play in Kentucky and then you watched him play in the pros, I've been saying, great, he had 60 tackles. But when you have 40 completions against you, I would hope you have 60 tackles because your job, and you, like I said, we've said it before, Deion Sanders' best season was like 62 tackles his fourth year in Atlanta. Every other season was like 28, 32. Why? Because he prevented people from catching the ball. Plain and simple. The game planning, though, on defense is just so atrocious. It's just so bad. And we went up against a depleted Kansas City Chiefs roster in reference to talent, gave up still 100 yards. And I love it because James Williams sent me, and I see James in the chat. James Williams sent me a text at one point during the game last night and said, Kansas City's just toying with us. They're like on the 4th and 1. James was like, they could have gone for it. They probably could have got it, but they're like, nah, just punt. We'll be fine. Give the ball back to the Giants. We'll be all right. But the game planning, and I don't know if you're going to get any better even with a different defensive coordinator, because I keep telling this over and over again. I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to pick on the kid, but Abdul Carter is, and I've said this since the draft, is extremely undersized, cannot be a full-time defensive end. He should be a situational pass rusher, kind of like they did within the last 2 preseason games where they rotated him on obvious passing downs and third downs, and he should just be a situational pass rusher. He is not big enough to be a full-time defensive end. He is not strong enough to play anywhere near the middle, and he is not quick enough. He is not agile enough, and he is not instinctive enough to play linebacker. These are all the things that we said, and everything that we said that would probably happen in the first 3 weeks have already happened. He is a non-factor. And he wears down at the end of the game because of the fact that he's going up against bigger, stronger players. There are 3 plays against Dallas where Abdul Carter got lifted off his feet. There were 3 plays last night where Abdul Carter got lifted off his feet during a rush. You are a speed rusher. If you are a smart defensive coordinator and you see you have a speed rusher, just drop him on the edge. Put him, you don't have to put his hand in the dirt. Put him in a stand-up position and let him blitz from the outside linebacker spot. As long as you know that most people are going to know when you see him in the game, they're probably going to say he's not going to drop back into coverage because he's not fluid at that, and he's probably not going to be able to stop the run. So you look at the secondary, you look at Paulson Adebo, you look at Tay Banks, the secondary is just atrocious. And again, it's the mismanagement thought of the fucking knucklehead named Joe Shane. Joe Shane decided, especially with Paulson Adebo, let's give him 54-36 guaranteed when most of the league said he should get a 2-year deal at $20 million, only $10 million guaranteed because it may take a year to come back from a broken leg. It's not even like he fractured. It's not a hairline fracture. He broke the bone. The bone literally snapped in half. And this injury is an injury of going back to Joe Theismann. A lot of players don't come back from, but the ineptitude of our general manager is like, I'm going to give him 54-36 guaranteed. What could go wrong? Oh, and while I'm at it, let's go and give Holland a big-ass contract, even though he literally had the worst season a motherfucker safety could have in Miami, regressed so much that we thought that he was worth like $4 million less than Xavier McKinney, who was a all-pro Pro Bowler. That makes a lot of fucking sense. And then you build your offense. You build your offense around the 36, soon to be 37-year-old Russell Wilson. And after 3 weeks, you have Giant fans clamoring for Jackson Dart. I don't want to see Jackson Dart. I don't think Jackson Dart's ready at all. If you watch him come in for these runs, if you as a coaching staff think Jackson Dart is ready, you don't bring him in to run the option. You let him throw. You don't bring him in and say, you know what, we're just gonna run the option. We're gonna run the old Wildcat, the old wishbone. We're gonna run the veer. No, because that tells me you do not think that he is ready for prime time. So I don't want to see him yet, especially not against a Chargers team who looks really good. I don't want to go up again. I already told him I didn't want to go up against Spags, and I don't want him to go up against a Harbaugh coach team because Harbaugh knows how to get his players to play within themselves.
That's what she said.
But you look at this offense, it's just so predictable. And as soon as Tyrone Tracy went out, I was like, oh, God, here comes Cam Scatterboo. Everyone's going to fall in love with these powerful runs. How many points did those runs produce? You have to look at the totality of the plays, not just his 11-yard run, he had 2 runs for 23 yards. 2 runs for 23. And then the other 8 carries, he averaged 2.4 yards. Now, the morons are going to go to me, well, Saquon Barkley did the same thing. He would run the ball 15 times for 55 yards and the brace one for 70. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo's not going to break one for 70. He is a downhill, control the clock running back that you need to have a speed back play with him. And he is going to have to learn that not every single fucking play is the Super Bowl. I go back to Rudy. When Jamie O'Hara gets in a fight with Rudy and he says this, last practice of the season, this idiot thinks it's the Super Bowl. Every down is not a win or lose down in reference to the scoreboard. You sometimes have to give yourself up for the next play because you need to stay available for the team. I don't think Cam Scatterboo is going to make it through week 8. I know a lot of people are cringing because all these people are texting me last night. Like, Tim, you were right about everything. You went on Bad Dog Show. You preached everything. You preached everything that happened yesterday, and you were told that you were negative and don't know football. So fuck you, people. I don't even want to hear that. Not people in chat, the people that said that in Bad Dog's chat. But this, I just saw it. Who said it a minute ago? This fish stinks from the head down. It really does. You think about this from like I said, the last 20 games. We are 3-17 in 2 seasons, in two seasons and a quarter. Not even a quarter, less than a quarter, like an eighth. 2 seasons and an eighth. We've won 9 games. We won 6 and then we won 3. I was looking at the schedule now. I'm not even sure we're winning 3. Because games that I thought were winnable against Dallas and Kansas City, we were so inept that and then I love it at the end of the game and everyone's blaming Russell Wilson. You finally put in Jalen Hyatt. We got a Jalen Hyatt sighting. And then what happens? Jalen Hyatt runs the wrong fucking route. You can tell that Jalen Hyatt ran the wrong route, which he does every time he gets in the game. We actually have footage. We actually had we contacted the NFL Network and we got some mic'd up footage from Russell Wilson on that play to Jalen Hyatt.
He went like this. He went like that. I said to Hollywood, where'd he go? Hollywood said, where'd who go?
Because the motherfucker ran the wrong route. Why even put him in? Why? What was the purpose? What is the purpose for even having him on the team? We have more footage. We have secondary footage. They had a secondary mic on Russell Wilson during that shit show of a pass.
I thought you were gonna do one of these.
That's Russell Wilson. I thought you were gonna do one of these, man. No, you did one of these. I said it last season, the end of the season. I don't know how you bring this coaching staff back. I don't understand how you bring this general manager back. I said it on Bad Dog Show, and I said it on my show. You need to fire everyone in-house. You need to just get rid of everyone. And you know what the thing is? Know what the problem is if you get rid of everyone? You just have a hard time finding a candidate. Sometimes it's like finding a needle in a haystack. You got to find a way to get a guy. You got to find a way to get the right guy. You know where you need to go? You need to go to ZipRecruiter.com, where they'll find amazing candidates fast for you. ZipRecruiter.com, of course. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com. .com/. audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. They have smart technology. It'll help you identify the right candidates, help you find that maybe that venerable head coach. Get that head coach in here quickly. They have a powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter does. So if you need to find the candidates, you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. You can use ZipRecruiter's pre-written invite to apply message and personally reach out to your favorite candidates. Encourage them to apply and get them in sooner. Of course, we've said it said it a million times before, guys. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate quickly within the first day. Try it for free with the exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, of course, is the smart way to hire. Or I should say this, it's the smartest way to hire. We need to get ZipRecruiter right now. I am going to go on ZipRecruiter right now and post a job posting for the New York Football Giants. Right here we go. ZipRecruiter /audio. How do I replace fucking morons on this team? Oh, there we go on ZipRecruiter.com. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo's the next Rambo, and Rambo died. He's not the next Rambo. He's not Mark Bavaro. Let's stop the fucking nonsense. Greg said it best. Cam Scatterboo is going to get a concussion. He is going to get a concussion because you have to have an understanding. Some plays you have to give yourself up. They always say you live to fight another down. He had 2 carries for 23 yards and 8 for less than 20, so he's still averaging under 3 yards. He's not an every down back. We're going to figure this out. This is just like the Drew Phillips thing. I've been preaching about fucking Drew Phillips for 2 years. Year and change now. No one believed me. Now all of a sudden, I see posts. Chode Sports was like, Drew Phillips is going to be the best slot corner ever. This is why those fucking morons know nothing. Because of the fact that if you knew something, you might be a little bit fucking dangerous. Football is not just stats. And if you're going to use stats, try using advanced stats. Not stats where you just look at it and go, well, he was 10 carries for 60 yards. Drew Phillips had 11 tackles and an interception. We have aura. I'm watching the game. And like I said, I'm sick as a dog. And I'm watching this game and I'm just getting sicker. Because like the Dallas game, which was a close score, I never had a doubt that Dallas was going to win. Like the Washington game, even though the Washington game was a close score, I had no doubt Washington was going to win. Same thing with Kansas City. Literally, you watch the Kansas City game, you're like, they're going to win. You're like, they're going to win. There's no help. There's no hope. And the more and more we dig deeper into this freaking minutia, the more and more that we throw the shovel over our shoulder and keep digging up more shit, we're not going to find the diamond in the rough below all this, because diamonds are made with compression. Over years and years and years of time, we waste time. Think how much times in the last 13 years that we have wasted on this fucking team. And at no time do they give us hope. Because even in the Daniel Jones playoff run, we were 7-2, but then went 2-5-1, then went 6-11, and then went 3-14. Now we're 0-3. I fucking miss Joe Judge. Because at least you knew Joe Judge was a moron. Brian Daboll, I have to hear from all these pundits. He's the brainchild behind the Buffalo offense. He's that boy genius. I haven't seen it. He's failed at every stop he has been at besides Buffalo with Josh Allen. He's failed miserably. But somehow, he's a fucking genius. Because of the fact that someone else, not named Joe Shane, drafted Josh Allen, and Josh Allen became the quarterback that he is now and has actually gotten better since Brian Daboll left. Daniel Jones has gotten better. Not really. We'll get into that. Well, we should get into that. We're not going to get into that. But because Daniel Jones has yet to play an NFL team. But he has gotten better evidently in Indianapolis. Saquon Barkley becomes an MVP, rushes for the most yards in NFL history combined with the playoffs, and wins the Super Bowl ring. Will Hernandez got better. Xavier McKinney, All-Pro. Julian Love, Pro Bowler 2 years running. Evan Ingram, his second season in Jacksonville, had the second most receptions in a single season in NFL history by a tight end. There is a list and a lineage of wreckage of players that have gone elsewhere and gotten better. Is it coaching? Of course. Is it the brain trust that is bringing in the coaching? Of course. And it all starts with Mara. We've told this story since the miracle after the day after the miracle of the Meadowlands. Wellington Mara looked around and said, I'm not fucking good at this. I'm going to call up Pete Rozelle and see if he can recommend someone for us to hire because evidently I suck at my job. They bring in George Young, win 2 Super Bowls. I've said this a million times before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Anyone in that fucking building that has Mara as their last name, you need to fire. Get them out of the building. I don't care if the janitor's name is Mara. That's still too close to Mara. Fire him. Anyone with the name Mara Artish should be out of football operations, that building. Get rid of them. Said this in a million times before. I'm going to say this again. You want to fix the Giants? Besides going on ZipRecruiter, ZipRecruiter.com/audio, do your free post. You want to fix this team? You want to win again? You want to be relevant in one of the largest media capitals in the world? You fire everyone. You have to. You also have, for the love of God, your capologist, anyone else running finance, you need to get rid of them because we literally had to restructure Andrew Thomas' contract again because of the fact that we were over the cap and we needed money. Not to mention the fact that both Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas' contracts are kicking in at the same time because we didn't stagger the deals. Because of the fact, I don't know why, because they weren't even taken in the same draft. You want to fix this shit. You want to fix this shit show. I went on Bad Dog's show, and I told everyone how to fix it. And I'm just reveling in the morons in the chat section that were just like, oh, you know nothing about sports. Nothing you say is going to happen. And then everything that fucking I said was going to happen happened. You want to fix this garbage? You want to fix this shit show? You want to win again? You get yourself a president of football operations. A lot of teams don't do this. A lot of teams just have the general manager. They have the ownership and they have a general manager. You get yourself a president of football operations to oversee just what it says. Parcells did it in Miami. Tom Coughlin did it in Jacksonville. A lot of teams have done this. Get yourself a president of football operations, and he is in charge of everything. James Dolan tried to do this with Phil Jackson. It worked out horribly. But then you got Leon Rose, and then he did the same thing. But James Dolan stepped away. He said, I'm done. I'm stepping away. I'm tired of losing. I'm going to go fuck with the Rangers, and I'm going to start fights with Charles Oakley and Spike Lee, but I'm done with the player personnel stuff. I'm done with that garbage. I need a tissue. Sorry, I got a tissue. I'm sick. You get your president of football operations. You get a smart NFL guy, preferably someone with experience. You have them come in here and you have them pick the general manager. You get a general manager who is actually an experienced general manager, not a general manager who's on the top of the young general manager list. Oh, he's the top of the young general manager list. No, you get yourself an experienced general manager, and that general manager works directly with the director of football operations. And they build a team together, and they build it with football minds that are not related to anything that goes on outside of this building. They have no connection to the Giant lineage. Oh, I got a super chat. Hold on. Who gave me that? We like super chats because all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. And Leslie says, I always knew you were right about this team, even if I didn't want to admit it as a passionate fan. Really appreciate what you do. Hopefully the Giants fix this dumpster fire. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat because all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. I really do appreciate that, Leslie. I really do appreciate that because so many people, I think, and I think so many people think like you do that, or did. I should rephrase that. I apologize, but think the fact that I'm just being negative for negative sake. No, I'm breaking it down and seeing. And I've taken the fandom out of this channel, the fandom. And I'm looking at it from the outside perspective on the inside of the Giant. Because I am a passionate Giant fan. I'm a passionate Knick fan. And I understand your passion. I really do. And I understand that you want to win. And I understand that sometimes when I say things, people take it as I'm being negative. But to your point, sometimes we don't want to admit it. Sometimes we don't want to admit what's in front of us. And I have to give you all the props in the world for coming on and also for the super chats. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. And really, and just saying, hey, listen, I didn't want to admit it because I'm a passionate fan. And that's what we want, Leslie. We want passionate fans. We want passionate fans like you to stand up and question things, because if passionate fans like you don't stand up and question things, even when you know it's wrong, even when it's hard, and even when it's difficult, because of the fact that you're probably going to be ridiculed by other people. But that's what you have to do to make this dumpster fire change. And like you said it best, hopefully the Giants fix this dumpster fire. I hope to God they do. Because I am tired. I am tired when it's football season in September saying, well, at least the Knick camps opens up on September 24th. I want to have a football team in New York that is playing relevant games in December and January. That's all I want. And I think a lot of people, such as yourself, who said it? I can't remember who said it the other day, but they said it on the other day. They're like, a lot of times with Tim, you shoot the messenger because he's right, but you don't want to hear it. And being a passionate fan, that's what it does. And I'm the same way. I'm the same way about the Knicks. I don't have a Knicks channel. I do have a Knicks podcast, but I don't want to hear that the Knicks still have issues because of the fact that I want to win. And that's all we want to do. We want to win. And again, thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. It's always greatly appreciated. Give to the kids. But you get a director of football operations. You have that person hire the head coach. So you hire the general manager. They then work in conjunction to come up with looking at the talent on the roster, come up with a philosophy. And then from that philosophy, go downward and hire a head coach who is going to institute that philosophy, which is predicated on the players you have, based on then go out and get an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator that makes sense for the general team philosophy. We are a cut and paste team. We take talent, we cut talent from other places, and we paste it into systems that don't work. And then we are shocked, or I should say the Giants are shocked and dismayed that it's not working. You literally could have had a defense coordinator like Steve Wilkes a week after we hired Shane Bowen. Now, he's had some moments in the Jets that have not been well, but Steve Wilks understands how to run an attacking style man press cover defense with a rush. Carl Banks came out and said the other day, and which I didn't agree with. He's like, well, would people feel better if the Giants defense were 27th ranked like Wink Martindale's last season? Would that be better? No, it's not going to be better, but Wink's defense at least played well enough. And the problem with Wink's defense is we talked about last year how the defense was always tired. The defense was tired. The Giants were 16th and tied for 16th in the league in time of possession. Offense. Tied for 16th. So they were almost better than half of the rest of the league. When Wink was here, we had no offense. We had no offense whatsoever, except one that took us to the playoffs. President of football operations hires a general manager. Owner stays out of it. General manager works with and hires the head coach with the director of football operations. Create a brain trust. Come up with a philosophy. And come up with a philosophy of what you have on your roster or what the direction is you want to go. You hire a head coach that can institute that philosophy as a CEO, not as a guy that meddles, because Brian Daboll likes to meddle. We saw him go after Wink when he told me he was blitzing too much, but for some God unknown reason, he doesn't go after Shane Bowen or Mike Kafka because of the fact that they are both vanilla personalities and he knows he can control them. But you go out and get that head coach to the institute, the philosophy that you come up with. You get a defense coordinator, an offensive coordinator that does the same thing, and you fix this shit. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like. I think 3 teams, they said, have made the playoffs since 1970, starting the season 0-3. People always talked about the Giants in 2007 that started the season 0-2 and gave up 80 points. Well, they won the 3rd game. Omar, bad management, bad coaching, bad personnel decision. Well, yeah, that sums it up. That literally sums it up. Did Andrew Thomas get hurt again? I turned my head and he was on the sideline. No, they have Andrew Thomas on a pitch count. They have him on a pitch count, which didn't make any sense because towards the end of the half, when you were literally hopefully driving for a score, you took Andrew Thomas out. I already said you should only play him like 25, 30, 25, no, 20. I said 20, 25 plays. But no, he can't. He can't come. He can't play the whole game yet. Not yet. Mike says you don't give Mara a choice. You don't. You really don't. Michael says that you forced this on him. This needs to come from Godell. It's never going to happen. Miss Roberts says, remember when I said Shane would have canned Mara and Abrams his first season, and you said you kept someone familiar in the office, how bad they've been? They should have canned them in 2022. Well, my thing is this. You should have canned them last year. You should have. Because after coming back from the playoffs, you have a regression. And you really didn't have a regression because you started 7-2 and then you finished 2-5-1. So you had to give them the next year because you had to see what they could build upon. And then honestly, you weren't going to fire him last year at the start of last year because of the fact that it doesn't make any sense because you still need to give a guy at least 3 seasons. But when you go 7-2, 2-5-1, 6-11, 3-14, it's time to clean house. Let's see here. I preached football operation solutions November last year. We are on the same page. I've been preaching this since I can remember, man. Robert says we don't want Daniel Jones. We want a competent management. How great was George Young? George Young was great. George won as the architect of 2 Super Bowls. George Young took a team that was garbage and then turned them around to make the playoffs in 81. And then they should have made the playoffs in 82, but there was the strike shortened season. Then he had 3-12-1 with Bill Parcells, but then he's also the guy that hired Bill Parcells, brought in majority of the Hall of Famers outside of Harry Carson. George Martin, in my mind, should be in the Hall of Fame. and built a roster and built a philosophy. The problem after the 90 season was for the Giants, they went to Ray Handley. And I have to say this about George Young. That was his biggest mistake because he was not building upon the philosophy that Bill Parcells created. If you would have went to Belichick and after that 90 season, which you wonder why Belichick's pissed at us. If you would have went to Belichick, I think you probably would have won 2 more Super Bowls. Dolan did it with the Rangers. He hired Slater and worked. The Rangers became a perennial playoff team. You're right. I was joking about the Rangers. Blackbird says Evan Ingram, Redderson, James. Let's see. Dale Jones, Barkley, King of the Almost. King of the Almost. I got a better season last year than Dexter Lawrence had in the last 2. We don't want to talk about that. It ain't getting fixed until Mara stops running the team. I agree. 100%. It's front office, Tim. Yeah, put me in the front office. Everyone always jokingly says you should go work in the front office. I'm thinking about throwing my hat in the ring. I'm thinking about going on ZipRecruiter right now, using that new great technology and applying for a job. I like it. Sold. Jay Ferris says people wanted to trade our good players for what the fuck? Can't even draft. Terrible idea. Well, the problem is this. Jay. The problem is this, plain and simple. You have to start trusting your management to draft players. You really, you can't trust Joe Schoen. Because I love it because Joe Schoen's first draft, everyone told me, well, the scouting reports were all done by Gettleman guys. So it won't be till his second draft where things are going to be so much better. His second draft was worse than his first. You have to start trusting your front office. You do. Stu says, get a wide receiver who knows how to get free from a defender. I can't blame Malik Neighbors yesterday. The secondary, the plan for Kansas City was simple. You're going to run an umbrella style defense. You are going to leave you're going to leave the field open in the middle for the run. And you're going to drop people back in the coverage. You're going to double Malik, and you're going to close up the middle of the field for the passing lane on the tight end. I don't blame the wide receivers or Russell Wilson. Giants, made by Giants, says, I've never been so disgusted and hopeless with the Giants in my life than I am now. It's really sad and feels like a legit curse. It's the Eli Manning curse. And I've said this before. We are never going to be good again until Eli Manning gets in the Hall of Fame after what we did to him with Geno Smith.
This place is cursed.
It's cursed. Michael says Wilson's going to get wide receivers killed with his stupid moonball. The moonball is all we got. The moonball is what we got. What's up, Walla, 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 Walla? Hey, Tim, you see Tommy DeVito commercial? Pretty funny. Oh, yeah, when he comes in as the backup quarterback. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Dan the Man says our first 2001, our first win against the Saints on the road in early October. Can only hope if it happens. We will follow. We'll look familiar, but it probably won't matter by then anyways. We're getting smoked by the Chargers. Herbert's for real. I've always loved the Duck. Herbert's for real. A Jim Harbaugh coach team in the second season, I could see them going to the Super Bowl. And their wide receiving core, we are in a lot of fucking trouble. We are going to have the Pearl Harbor moments. Ryan's for Ryan's Big Boo podcast says, won't name names, but a specific Giants content creator that I know tweeted yesterday asking if Jackson Dart can hear the play through his earpiece on the sideline. Won't name names, specific Giant content creator that I know tweeted yesterday asking if Jackson Dart can hear the play calls through his headset on the sideline. Well, he can if he has his helmet on, but it's a one-way radio usually. Is this why you got locked out of Twitter, Ryan? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. How's school going? Luke says, old man Merritt must be rolling around his grave going nuts. Emmanuel says, I'm going to see if they have any internships in the front office, man. Go for it. Go for it. Omar says, I would consider Fran Brown for head coach. No. No more first-time head coaches. No more loser retread coaches. I want a guy that is a proven winner. And there is a guy. Everyone knows I love him. Love him like a father because he used to yell at me like a father. That's John Gruden. But A, I don't think Gruden would come here, and B, I don't think his personality would mesh unless he's mellowed since Tampa. I don't think his personality would mesh here in New York. I want a proven winner. I want the Giants to go out and do something that no one ever expects them to do. We used to be New York Football Giants was a destination. Was a destination spot for coaches, for players. Now players are like, I don't want to fucking go to New York. What are we going to do? We're going to go to New York and lose? Make sure we got 250 something people watching this. Make sure we only got 48 likes and 166 people in the room. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, and we're never going to win again. Speaking of never winning again, I was on the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in the land, in America. And of course, the Giants on FanDuel were 5.5-point dogs last night in their home opener. Also on FanDuel, bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets. Make sure you do that as well, because that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And that's for new customers only. But we are 5.5-point underdogs last night. We are still 5.5 point. Now we are again 5.5 point. The line on the Giants have been 5.5 to 6.5 points the last 3 weeks. We're still 5.5 points. I would take the 5.5 points now because I think that spread's gonna. I mean, I wouldn't take it now. Actually, I probably wait because I think that spread's probably gonna go to like 7.5. And I would look at that spread. That's 5.5 points. I think the Chargers might win by 20. Because that's our secondary against the Duck and his wide receivers. We're in a lot of trouble. I would wait on that line for like Wednesday. Probably goes up to about 7.5. But of course, we love FanDuel, proud sponsor of New York Giants Straight Talk. Go on FanDuel. Everything you need. You got casino games. You got fantasy. You got a race book. They got a television. They got a television thing. And again, with the NFL, bet $5. Get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's FanDuel.com. Number one sportsbook in America. Emmanuel says, well, I got to write that down now. 11:42. Well, what time was that? Hold on. See, I gotta time check these. Hold on. What's the time? What time did I do FanDuel? 43. We'll say 43 minutes. 43 minutes in the show. See what I have to do now. I have to track the time here, so I got to go 43. I love FanDuel though. I really do. I like the fantasy stuff on FanDuel, and I like the slot machines. Yeah, I know. I know I'm old. Jay Ferris says, longtime Coors Light guy, maybe switch to Mick Ultra for the long days. I like Mick Ultra, actually. Proven would be Gruden. I think John Gruden, if he had the moxie, and I know he does, and he's only in his 60s, to come in here and run the whole organization. Not run the whole. The problem is when he was in Vegas, he was running everything. I don't want him running everything. And that's another thing. I don't know if he would want to come here because of that. But I would think that would be something smart. If you really wanted to get crazy and you want a guy from football operations, and I don't think he would leave college yet, but I would go see, I would knock on Belichick's door. Because I don't need him in the building like I don't need him in the building like 23 hours like you have with a normal head coach. But he is a smart football mind. He is a defensive mind, and the Giants are always have been a defensive oriented team. And the only thing you would need to worry about is that fact that he would pick a player from one of his coach from one of his dead trees of assistants. But all right, no, I changed mine. I don't want Belichick now. Change my mind. Mr. Fitness says owner and coaches and GM are all shit. Yep. Mike says, hopefully the Giants step in. The NFL steps in and fix this dumpster fire. We're not that bad yet, but I think so. The Giants season, 3 games. The Giants season is literally 3 games, and we've already fans already want to wave the white flag. Fans were already like, no, we're done. And I was talking to James this morning. We have 14 more of these. I got 7 more home games to go to. What's up, Jess? You're driving home from VA? How's that going? Adam says, Gruden's suing the league, probably a non-starter. Yeah, but you fixed the lawsuit. You're fine. You know who would be perfect, but again, you would have to have a philosophy from your football operation guys is Flores, Brian Flores. Brian Flores created a winning team out of garbage after Miami traded all of his players, and he still won. And then I love it because players like, well, he's too rough. Well, great. You got a players coach now in Miami. You can't fucking win a game, even though he looks like an 80s drug dealer. All he needs is the Don Johnson jacket. He probably has it. Gruden or McCarthy, we need someone with experience who won't put up with this shitty owner. I wouldn't do McCarthy as the head coach, but I would consider McCarthy as director of football operations. President of football operations, not director. President of football operations. I would do that. BP says, since MetLife is open, the Giants and Jets both have losing records at home overall. They do. You're right. MetLife sucks. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Made by Giants is 14 out of the last 15. I don't know what week it is. How does everyone still have a job? I don't know. Deb, what's up, Big Deb? How you doing, my friend? We love Deb. Deb Ellis. Is there anyone out there who has been a head coach that is available? Well, yeah, you got Mara. I'm not Mara. You got Gruden. You got you got what the fuck is his name? We just talked about him. You got Mike McCarthy. You know the name that always comes up, and I always laugh because it's not going to happen. But it's been a name that has been linked synonymously since the Giants since 2007, and that's Bill Cowher. You know, Bill Cowher won a Super Bowl, 149 and 90, coach of the year, I think twice. You know, he is a guy that spent 15 seasons. But you know what's funny? That was Cowher is 68 now. I don't think Bill Cowher would want to come here and be a head coach. But again, Cowher would be a guy I would consider for a president of football operations. Mara won't step down to the narcissist that he is, but it needs to happen either the less. Who could be a good president in your I just gave you a couple. I would do John Gruden as president. And I would do, if he would do it, like I said, I would do Bill Cowher, not as a coach, but as a president. And I would do Mike McCarthy as a president. Again, not a head coach, as a president. But you have to figure out but again, you have to look at guys for what the philosophy is for the team. I don't know what the philosophy is, because like I said, if I look at this roster, I still don't know what I got at quarterback. I got one wide receiver. I have no tight ends. I have a suspect line. And I really have no running backs. So offensively, it's kind of like an open slate, especially but you have to think that Jackson Dart's going to be your guy. But you also have to think that if the new president and new head coach does not think Jackson Dart's the guy, you got to get rid of Jackson Dart, and you can't fuck around. You got to just get rid of him. Defenses, you have 3 undersized defensive ends. I think an overrated player the last 2 years in Dexter Lawrence, because we've said it before.
King of the almost sack.
King of the almost sack had a better season last year than Dexter Lawrence has had in 2 years. So you have no linebackers. You have a suspect secondary. You got to get rid of Flott. Drew Phillips has got bust written all over him. Tyler Nubin, same way. Tyler Nubin, like I said, to me, if I'm the Giants, I make Tyler Nubin, Logan Ryan, put him in the box like 78% of the time and let him be a quasi-safety linebacker. But if you're going to predicate this team on a rush, you're going to need, I would say you would want to get a defensive-minded head coach that is pass rush oriented, who has a relationship with the defensive coordinator that can come in here and help us generate an attacking style defense. I doubt Mara was fortunate to realize that the other mayors have to step away in typical Giant fashions. I bet Daboll kept Shane around, and around we go forever. Wings defense got the quarterback and got the takeaways. The defense can't do shit. Oh, I agree, Ryan, 100%. It's all garbage. I love it. I see Dominic Farmer in the chat going, I can kick. I love it, Dom. You could kick, Dom. Greeny Green says, anyone in the chat would be a better general manager than Joe Hussein. Alejandro says, we can get James Williams as needed for one of the rants today, babe. James, are you around? There we go. Who wants to rant? I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm also losing my voice. I am really sick. The whole family's sick. Of course, the kids go to school today because they're all better. They're all better now. They're all better. The wife and I are dying. James, are you working? Because I'd like to get an angry black man rant. Even Dom, I would like to get the proper English rant if Dom is around. John Gruden says, I agree, Leslie. John Gruden, man. I love John Gruden. I literally love John Gruden. Afraid of him, but I love him. And I like Brian Flores. Could you imagine John Gruden as president of football operations and he brings in Brian Flores as a head coach? Great balls of fire. That would be, I like it. No, Ryan. No, Ryan. Ryan's from Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. Oh, go to Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. He locked himself out of his Twitter account. So he started a new Twitter account. And I don't know what it is. I'm so well prepared today. I have no idea. I was sitting there drinking coffee like I got no idea. Give me Flores. Jay Ferris says lose and pay a shit ton of taxes and have Pat Leonard troll you. But doesn't Pat Leonard actually speak truth? I don't know because I don't watch Pat Leonard. I don't read Pat Leonard. I don't read giant beat writers anymore. But doesn't he speak a lot of truth, Pat Leonard? Pat Leonard and I should go out and have a beer. We'll have Pat Leonard on. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get my crack staff at Believe to go get Pat Leonard on. I'm running out of people to bring on, so. All right, Mr. Reese, I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. Here we got Emmanuel. All right, Emmanuel.
Hey,
Give us your best rant.
me, you, James Williams. I think we can run the team because this. What am I watching?
That ain't saying much though.
What do I stay up and watch this for? Every time I watch the Giants play, it's like it makes me hate football. Like it doesn't make any sense from the poor decision making to the construction of the roster. It's like, and then they feed us this BS saying, "Oh, it gets better. It's not that bad." Where?
It's pretty bad. I have yet to see anything get better.
I don't see the progression. I don't see us developing players. I don't see us drafting players. I don't see where's the head coaching. And then Daboll just hangs his head. You should hang your head. You didn't. You. This is you. This is all you. This is you constructed this team. You coach or non-coach this team. You decide to let's go in there with Graham Gano, knowing that Graham Gano hasn't been healthy for what the last 2-3 years, and saying, "Oh, he's good." Not give him any competition. And this is to put icing on the cake. This man, Daniel Jones is looking like a damn MVP.
Okay, well, first of all, back up on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has yet to play an NFL team.
That is also true.
He played a team yesterday that had the first overall pick. He has played a team in Denver whose defense has gotten worse and Bo Nix has regressed. And then he played one of the worst secondaries I have seen in 30 years in Miami. And he has Jonathan Taylor backed up behind him.
We played Dallas and we still lost.
Exactly.
so the end all be all, this has to go. It has to. I was hoping that when I woke up this morning, I seen somebody get their head chopped off this morning. Like, I know that's not how we do things, but we need drastic changes if we really want to rebuild and we really want to win again. Things have to completely change on how we think, build, and who we hire. It's sickening to watch this. And then the Cam Scatterbull, great pick, I guess, but it's like, this is what the regime is going to do. They're going to cling on to this specific game where he just goes off and says we have a great running back at Cam Scatterbull for next year, instead of if a Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame, which I don't like, but a player that esque comes out and lands to us, we don't need him. We have a Cam Scatterbull.
We've over-evaluated the talent that we have in the roster. Man, I'm gonna have to drop you off because I got other people that are gonna come on. That's but cool. I just wanted you to come on first to give your giant thought.
Ridiculous.
It is. You know what? That actually sums it up the best. This is ridiculous. Now I want to drop in Mr. Bruce coming in. I'm waiting for the Mr. Bruce rant. I'm waiting for you to tell Jabari, just tell me, man. Just tell me why. Just give me something.
Tim, I no longer call this team the New York Giants.
Oh dear Lord.
I call this team. I used to call them the New York Football Field Goals. Then I call them the New York Midgets. I now call them the New York Vaginals.
Okay.
Because that is the type of energy that we are showing. Soft zone, when we need to play aggressive defense, pussy. When we have our defensive tackle getting a ball stripped from him, from a quarterback. Last time I checked him, isn't it the defense's job to strip the ball from the quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we haven't even gotten to the game yet. That's how bad this is.
Oh, pussy. We are a team full of pussies. And pussy is great. But in the sports world, we need to not be pussy. And we are playing we're soft. We're trash. And it's like, I don't even know how to even fix this. I don't even know. And I think it first starts with the obvious thing. We have to get rid of Joe Blow in his nose, and we have to get rid of Brian Daboll because they're not doing it. We've known this since last year, but for some reason we didn't fire them. And then last but not least, I know we can't force somebody to sell their team.
Well, they already sold 10%.
But what about the other 90?
Well, it's still 45-45. Because you got to remember, Tish owns half and Mara owns the other half.
Well, one of them or both of them got to go because this is.
Well, it has to be Mara. Because the Mara family is the way they split up the team. The Mara family is in charge of football operations. The Tish family is in charge of finances.
Well, both of them have been shit. We've had shit contracts and shit football. So
they're in charge of finances in reference to the stadium, the merchandising. The Tishes handle the business end.
Oh, so they gave us the free Pepsis.
Yeah, no, that was the Mara family. It was still the Mara.
Listen, I just think there just needs to be a regime change. We need to. I'm getting to a point where I'm not even caring emotionally about this team anymore. Because once again, it's another season where we are in week 3 and our season is over. And we're talking about the draft.
And its season's already out. All right, I got to drop you off, Mr. Bruce, because I got another guest that's going to pop on here. But I want to make sure we get everyone on as we possibly can. That's why we're putting out all the link today. So we're gonna have to move it because it's the big James. It's the big James Williams coming in strong. You know what, James? I was laughing because we were talking about House Party yesterday, the movie House Party. And when Mr. Bruce was talking about it, all I could think about is, full force. And I smell what? I smell pussy. And I think he's right. I think he kind of hit the nail on the head with that. We don't play with we have certain players that play with passion. We have certain players that play with heart, but we also have a team that just does not play. That's the thing I think is the biggest issue. We have a team that does not play together.
Well, Chris Collinsworth said something so on point yesterday, late in the broadcast, Mr. PFF. He said, with the Giants, it's either the offense plays good and the defense plays bad. Or the defense plays good and the offense plays bad. Like you just said, we don't get cohesive football. We haven't seen that for years.
There's nothing together.
Like even when Daniel Jones was here, there would be times when the defense was playing good and we're getting no offense. Then there was games where he was actually playing good, but then the defense is giving, so it's like we haven't had cohesive football for years. And last night just you already talked about the Phillips thing, but do you know how crazy it is to watch a guy go on a stream and talk just a few days ago and talk about something, and then that thing like an elusive dodo bird, something we've never seen, it just pops up like, wow, look at Andrew Phillips, that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Phillips, like I said, I've been on Drew Phillips now since his rookie season. And we went on the stream on Bad Dogs on Friday, whatever day it was. And I mentioned again that Drew Phillips, Dak was 10 for 14 for 110 yards and a touchdown and 2 penalties against him. Jaden Daniels was something like 7 for 10 for 90 something for a penalty and a touchdown. And then last night, once again, 2 bad penalties. I don't know what the advanced stats are, but he had a lot of tackles, which means to me he gave up a lot of passes.
The guy holds on every play. I don't know if you guys noticed, like he holds on every play.
Eli Apple is laughing at him and saying,
like he holds on every play, y'all. If you watch, even the ones where it's a good play, he stopped, but he's holding. I think it was like in the first series, like he grabbed the guy by the shoulder and then he's pulling his jersey on the back. I don't know how the refs missed it.
Oh, I got to get to Big Don because I did see that Big Don, but I had to wait till I got to James. Big Don dropping the free memberships. Big Don, always a big supporter of the channel. I was putting the link in the chat because I thought Don was going to come on, but you're welcome for the free memberships, you ungrateful fans. We're Giant fans, Don. We're lucky we can read.
But Big Don, you want to talk about Clemson, Big Don? Is that what it is?
That's be nice. James is in a fiery mood.
I'm just saying, guys, listen, my brother and I, we were going to be at that event. Yeah. We'll call it last night. We were going to go.
Yeah.
Are you serious? What's the phrase I was saying to you on the phone? Sometimes it's not worth the price of admission.
I was telling James, like, the whole house is sick. And I was laughing. I get it. Mr. Fitness live and in person. Oh, we got to add him with the angry black man, also known as James Williams. It's Mr. Fitness.
Salute, Tim. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
What up?
You have been in the chat forever.
Yeah.
And this is a pleasure and an honor to have you on.
Normally, I only beam in the shows about boxing because it's enough to. But the Giants have really pulled me onto camera. I had to tell you this directly. I'm definitely putting your hat in there to be the GM of the Giants because you called it all right for the last. You called it all right, not some of it, not a little bit. Even the stuff when me and you were going back and forth that I didn't want to hear.
That's why you and I have gone at it.
That's what I'm saying. I could listen. If I'm wrong and I see I'm wrong, I'm man enough to say that. And more importantly, if I know you're right, I'm man enough to give you your flowers. What I wanted to ask you though was I keep hearing a lot of statements about that Daboll's clock being attached to Jackson Dart. And what I wanted to ask you was, let's say Jackson Dart comes out and is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Does that then take away all this dumb shit we just saw for the last 4 years?
Yes.
Bad decision making,
yes.
Bad player analysis, bad coaching analysis, clock management.
Yep.
That just cancels all that?
They are going to, well, you think of it this way, Mr. Fitness, that last year's draft, which I do not think was a spectacular draft, was supposed to cancel out the last 2 years' drafts, where we have 22 picks, and by maybe next year, none of those 22 picks will be on the team. But we had to hear how wonderful his year 3 draft was. So yes, if they hit on a franchise quarterback, even if they win 4 games, I think Shane and Daboll are back.
This is why I kept saying the road to nowhere continues.
Yeah.
Because if you can't see what's right in front of you, if it takes you 4 years to figure out if a guy, not is he great or terrible, if he just has a clue of what he's doing, Brian Daboll looks lost out there.
Yeah.
And then, but for him to get found, he's got to look at the tape.
Yep.
He comes out last week. He comes out last week after the game is over, and he says, basically, well, I saw some of the defensive alignments were wrong. We were kind of out of position at times. I'm thinking to myself, you the damn coach. When you're watching the game and you see him lined up wrong, why aren't you talking to Shane Bowen like you did Wink?
Yeah.
Why is your foot not in his ass like it was Wink? Why aren't you putting on a spectacle like we've seen you do? You look like a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. You look like an idiot standing over there. Bro, he goes for it on 4th downs when you should kick. He kicks when you should go. He's reliant on a one-legged kicker. He needs 2 legs because he needs a leg to kick and a leg to stand on. He doubles down on Andrew Thomas. I love Andrew Thomas, but can we rely on that? Oh, when Thomas comes back, the offensive line will be great. For how long? The 2 games he plays and gets hurt? You got the guy in the game. If you got him on a snap count, in my mind, I don't know much. I'm just saying, in my mind, if I know he's in limited times, I'm going to pick and choose very wisely
There you
when
go.
that is.
There you go. Yep.
You got 25 plays, and I'm going to give you 25 plays Andrew Thomas related. I'm telling you, this guy, Daboll, came in as Day Balls, and he's leaving with no balls. Like, what happened to this dude?
Yep. That. You know what?
6-1.
That's the end of the stream. We're done. We just wrapped it all.
Bro, Tim, I love this show, and I appreciate you letting me come on here and rant. I'm going to jump back in the chat. I just wanted to say, I'm going to give you your flowers, and if you ever decide to put your name in that hat, I'm definitely going for Tim to be the number one. You're going to be the president, the owner, and the damn GM, because we don't need any of those guys doing any more what they've been doing. Salute to you, Tim. Salute to you, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Salute, bro.
I don't know the other guy's name. Salute to you, bro. Maybe
Yo,
in 5
James,
years,
peace,
this will be a
God.
positive. James, salute, James. In 5 years, maybe we'll have these same conversations more positive.
I hope
Peace,
so too,
fellas.
Mr. Fitness. I appreciate you coming on. That was a treat. That was a treat because Mr. Fitness and I have gone at it a couple times, and it's always been respectful. It hasn't been like it's gotten a little nasty. So I'm not gonna lie because we're both passionate fans. Want to bring? I see the one guy coming. I see 2 guys. We got to bring in Big Don. Big Don giving us super chat, working hard.
There he goes.
Always.
Oh, baby.
Always, my brother. How are you doing, my friend? Look at the gun.
I'm exhausted. I'm so tired right now, Tim. It's not even funny. I'm so tired. Oh my gosh. But a little bit of good news. A little 315 in the building. You know what I'm saying?
I knew Syracuse was coming up. I knew that had to be, but come on, Big Don. We got to talk Giants here, man.
Okay, now here comes the sad part. Well, here's the thing. We don't even have any Syracuse players on the team right now.
I got a question.
So, yep.
Where the hell have you been on Helldiver?
First of all, Tim, don't question my democracy loyalties. Okay, we're not going to do that. I'm always up for democracy. You haven't been on. Okay, you haven't.
That's true.
Exactly.
You've been sick the last 3 days, so I have an excuse.
We need you, Tim. The front is falling, and we need. Matter of fact, where's James? James, we need to be on the front too. We're falling. Look, the Giants are falling. Democracy's falling. We need help on all fronts here. We need everybody at this point.
Speaking of
Ohio State fans, I don't care.
Speaking of falling, my friend. Speaking of falling. What do we get? I'm gonna bring in though. Before I'm gonna ask you a question, but I want to bring in the only other white guy that watches this channel, evidently, and that's gonna be right.
What's up?
People always say, "Do you have?" we got one white guy that watches the channel. Here we go, Mr. Trent. Trent, I'm going to get to you in a minute, but I figure you're at work or at lunch. So, but I want to get to Don because he's working. Don, what are we doing with this mess?
Same thing that I said at the beginning, before the beginning of the season. It's just something that we watched. That's a dumpster fire, and we hope it goes down as fast as possible. But it seems like the flames are just getting bigger and bigger at this point. Like we thought we threw some we threw some water in there with a little Scattaboo, threw a little water in there with Russell, throw a little water in there, with some big name free agents, and it's just simmering. It's not doing anything. It's boiling over. It's not getting better.
We just got worse news, according to Jay Ferris. Tyrone Tracy has dislocated his shoulder. He's going to be out for weeks.
Oh yeah, but if you watched it, he was done. Like he was injured, not hurt.
Yeah,
he was already done. Oh, that means they can bring Turbo back at this point, right? Is that what they can do? They can bring the greatest Turbo back. I remember hearing that all during training camp and last year.
Coming back.
I'm done. At this point, I'm just I'm living in the past. I'm 36. No, I'm sorry, I'm 37. And I'm living in the past. I'm now at that point where I'm like the good old days. I never thought I'd be that guy, Tim, at this young age, that I would talk about the good old days.
Listen, if you're 37, you're already talking about the good old days. We got a lot of problems.
We're cooked. We're done. I'm sorry, Tom.
We got a lot of problems. Well, I will be trying. The kids are off tomorrow, so today,
I'm off also. Yeah. Just text me. Just text me or your son. It don't matter. I'll help both of y'all.
we're defending democracy tomorrow, so make sure you're around.
All right, sounds good. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all take it easy.
All right, yo.
See you later. I'm also well, hold on, Trevor. We're gonna get to you in a second, but I'm putting the link in the chat because I want to hear from everyone. If you are out there, we have a phone line, but I still haven't hooked it up yet because I'm lazy.
The bat phone.
We have the bat phone, which we're going to have up, I think, by this Sunday, where you can call in now and instead of having to come on camera if you don't want. But I'm putting the link in the chat because I want to hear from everyone. Trenton, where'd you go? See, James, this is.
I'm here.
This is why we don't have white people on the show because they don't.
We're on CP time.
We're on CP time. Thank you. I don't even want to hear about your Eagles.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was waiting for you to broach the topic.
I don't even want to hear about the Eagles. It was a good.
You want to hear my experience from the Giants game last night? Because I watched every snap.
Yes.
Oh, that should be interesting.
That's why we have you on.
So my best friend is a Giants fan, and that's the only reason I'll ever watch a Giants game.
I don't know if we're best friends yet, but okay.
No, not. You know, my real life best friend, not my online friends. You know, but we were watching the game together, and I got to tell you, you're going to be frustrated by this, Tim, but he's the biggest Cam Scabadoo fan ever because he is also a 5'8" white guy that wishes he could play in the NFL. And so we were.
It was a CT waiting to happen.
Yeah, and we were watching that one touchdown run he had was the only notable play of the game. I mean, the moon ball. What happened to the moon ball? Out there just throwing picks now on those deep shots. Like what? I can't believe that.
We've already, like I said, we have the footage from the moon ball. Here we go. We have the audio from Russell Wilson.
He went like this. He went like that. I said to Hollywood, where'd he go? Hollywood said, where'd who go?
We all know John Hyatt ran the wrong route.
That is the best.
I mean, let's just talk about like it is. We all know I mean, the moon ball is great if you run the right route.
That's true. But
there was a lunar eclipse last night.
What'd you say, buddy?
There was a lunar eclipse. There was no moon balls.
The moon was blotted out. But what my other observation is Pat Mahomes played like absolute shit. His best play was a 70-yard penalty.
He has in 3 weeks. He hasn't played well in 3 weeks.
Well, I'm not impressed by him at all. I know what my quarterback's capable of, and I'm fine right where I'm at. I don't need to even think about other quarterbacks.
Oh, not to bring this subject up, but you got the score wrong.
I know.
I
know.
I'm not going to bring that up. You got the score wrong, dog.
What about the double block field goals, though? Do I get anything for that consolation?
No, because you didn't predict it.
That's true. I did not see that coming. I predicted the second block. I didn't predict the first block, but once we blocked the first one, I knew there was a chance we'd get the second one.
If you would have predicted double block field goals, I still have connections over in Philly, and I still have friends that have tickets up in the suites. If you would have predicted that, I would have taken you personally to a Philly game. And
I'm going to use AI to fake a video of me saying that like 5 minutes before kickoff and send it to you.
You have to because I have to go back to a Philly game anyways because I have to go annoy Vince Papale because he hates me. I don't know why. No, he really hates me because I call him Rudy.
Oh shit!
He does not like when you call him Rudy, and you call him Rudy like 3 weeks in a row.
But guys, I just wanted to hop on real quick on my lunch break and say hi, check in, and it's officially over for my prediction that you guys are going 9-8. It's over. So, you're not.
The whole thing is changed now. Like I said, now 10 wins takes the division.
Oh, your prediction changed because you see how good my birds are.
Oh, no, it has nothing to do with that. It just happens to do with the fact that you take a look at the Dallas loss, you take a look at the 2 divisional losses for the Giants, you take a look at the Washington loss, and then you also take a look at what Philadelphia is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you got to change your predictions with the information in hand. I got to get we're going to let you drop off because I want to.
All right, see you, buddy.
Key keeps dropping in and out. Key, do you have the key to the rest of the season?
No, I do not.
Come on, man. Give us something good.
I can't give you anything good about this team. Oh, my goodness.
Can you give us something bad?
Oh, I can give you that. I mean, I can give you something good. Don't waste your money paying for the packages. for the
Well,
whole season.
I've already did that. I'm a season ticket holder, so I already wasted my money a long time ago.
Yeah, I always for the last 6-7 seasons, I have not yet bought new merchandise, new jerseys, or the season package to watch the Giants. I'm like, why am I gonna watch it if they're gonna lose by October? I mean by September. It's just horrible. I'm like, oh my God.
How long you been a Giant fan for?
Well, I'm 27, and so I've been a Giants fan because my grandma was a Giants fan. And
Nice.
so I remember she was jumping up and down when she saw Jeremy Shockey in the playoffs at that time. So that's why I've been a Giants fan. So, but I mainly started taking interest into it when I started playing back in like I was in 7th grade. But these Giants, man, I don't get it. I wish we had Odell back because it was the best time because we was also trash when Odell was here, but
But
it
it was
was still good
interesting.
to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Well,
when you watch it, you're like,
everyone
what am I
talks about
watching?
the reception, but no one talks about the fact that we lost that game.
We did.
Exactly.
But it was a great game to watch. It was a fun game to watch. You're right. You know what? That's the thing. Sometimes if you're not going to be competitive, at least be interesting.
Exactly. And then now look, Daniel Jones over there being miraculous, Indiana Jones, and we got Big Ball Daboll acting trash.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and hopefully we can get you some wins because, like I said, you've been following since 7th grade. You've been following since the last 13 seasons, where we've only had 2 winning seasons in 13 years and 2 playoff appearances and 1 win in 13 years. You have the Steelers that haven't missed the playoffs in 15 years. You have other teams. You have Kansas City hasn't missed it in 14, and then we have gone twice to the playoffs in 13 years. It's going to be 14 years
now. Yeah.
Oh man! But what do you guys think about what's going to happen next game?
I think you James, personally, I think you stay status quo. I don't think you go to go against a Harbaugh-led coach team and put Jackson Dart in, even though it's at home. If it's me, I stay with the way it is, take the loss, go to New Orleans. If you want to start Dart in New Orleans, I'm fine with that because it's going to be a controlled environment. It's going to be in the dome. You can simplify the game plan because you're going to eliminate the weather and don't put in a large package for them against the Saints, but put in a large enough package where you guys can be competitive. That's what I would do.
Yeah. In an ideal world, I said before the season, you really wanted to wait towards the end of the season, like even the Patriot game. Like I really wish they would put in Winston for a couple games before Dart, just to throw him out there a little bit, just to see something different. Because Wilson didn't even throw the ball last night, and when he did, he was throwing it to the security guard in the tunnel. So I would rather see Winston out there before we just go right to Dart.
We talked about not we didn't, but James and you and I talked about the defensive game plan of Kansas City last night. And basically, it was very simple. The safeties aren't going to let you. This is what we talk about the Giants. The safeties were not going to let them get beat deep. They were going to keep 2 layers of coverage. And what they did is on that play, again, we talk about Wandale's catch radius, and we talk about him going up against real secondaries. When you put him up and have such a small catch radius, and you have 2 defenders in the same area, more than likely bad things are going to happen. Which is what the interception was, because of the fact that they understood we're going to keep everything in front of us, and we're going to have secondary help on the second level. They almost played it like a 2-layer, like I said, like almost like a 2-layer umbrella.
Yeah. It was like it was a beautiful. He was layered over. The safety was over. Like it was crazy. Like and then when you did throw it to Wandale, you said you had 2 defenders, and the safety came over. He was technically triple covered, and he still threw the ball.
And he still threw the ball because of the fact that he was going with the moon ball, because that was the best weapon against Dallas.
Real quick, Tim, before I hop off.
Sure.
Obviously, we can blame John Mara, but what good is that going to do? But out of the 2, who do you guys blame the most for this catastrophic team? Daboll or Joe Shane?
Oh, I was going to answer Joe Shane before you even finished the question. He hired the coach.
Mm-hmm.
He brought in the talent. He built his own front office. He did the drafts. He did the draft analysis. This is a guy that has looked at quarterbacks for 3 years and finally pulled the trigger and landed on Jackson Dart. And I'm not saying Jackson Dart's not going to be the guy, but you had a quarterback-rich draft a couple seasons ago. You didn't pull the trigger. You had an opportunity to get a quarterback probably later in the draft. You didn't do it and still build on your roster and have extra picks. But yeah, everything falls in my mind, James. Everything falls under Joe Shane. I mean, Brian Daboll sucks. Don't get me wrong; he still sucks. I'd still fire him, but it's Shane's fault.
Yeah, you know, you got to think about. I said to Tim before he hopped on that. To me, one of Shane's best moves was getting Brian Burns, who actually turns out to be a pretty good player. Like, he's better than I thought he would be. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but he's been pretty good since he's coming here. But the whole thing with the Burns thing is he didn't orchestrate that. His boy came to him in the Hard Knocks and said, "Hey, you want to buy some dope?" And Shane said, "Sure, I'll get high."
Dan
and it just
over and said, "Hey, what about Brian Burns?
What about Brian Burns?" Famous line. And then again, he picked Kayvon and Carter with his own eyes. Burns was already Burns before the trade. So where's this guy's eye for talent, really? Jalen Hyatt, you seen him, Key? You seen him out there last night?
Trade him. Just trade him. What he say last year? If you're not gonna use me, trade me. That's what they should do.
I think they should just cut him. make it a little bit easier because I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. And I love Bad Dog, but Bad Dog posted on X yesterday, "Let's trade Russell Wilson for a second-round pick to the Cincinnati Bengals."
Sure.
Oh, that was the other guy.
I was like, wait a minute. How do you this is such an Russell Wilson was on the market for weeks. And he landed on the Giants, and it was kind of an afterthought. No one's given a second-round pick for Russell Wilson, maybe a 6th or a 7th, but no one's given a second-round pick for Russell Wilson. If that's the case, I think so. If someone should trade for me, you can probably do it for a 5th rounder.
We just have no talent. Well, I mean, not no talent, but we have less talent than we think we do, and we overhype our talent. The biggest play of the game last night was Mahomes, a quarterback, throwing a backwards pass, having the knowledge to know that's a live ball, getting involved in the play, knocking into our star linebacker, knocking the ball loose, and having it fall back into his lap. That's insane. That's a quarterback on a linebacker.
Star linebacker. I love that one. I love that one. But Key, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. You're welcome on anytime you're in the area. Make sure you stop on by. I'm going to drop you off so I can talk to James for a few minutes. I'm already losing my voice.
Tim.
So I appreciate my friend coming on. You're like I said, anytime you want to come on, just when the link hits the chat, make sure you pop on.
All right, Tim. Thank y'all. Thank you, James. See y'all later.
All right, big bro. Stay safe.
All right. I'm putting the link in the chat again, James, because I want to make sure there's anyone else out there that wants to come on, anyone out there on that sphere called the other social media platform, any other people coming in from whatever. We still have a 200 something people watching. We have 120 in the chat, only 81 likes. Let's get up to 100 likes.
All right, hit that like button.
Oh, come on, guys. We have 118 people, 81 likes. I am dying here. But I want to talk to everyone that wants to come on. I want to talk to everyone in the chat. What do we say? Greg says second rounder for Russ. That's just crazy. Mr. Finesse says, if someone is giving us a second, I'll take it and then drug test them. Yeah, I love that one too. We need 100 likes, says Rob, but we do not hit again. Smash the like. Smash the like button, please. Coach D says Bad Dog offered Madden trade. No, I think what Bad Dog did is, and I love Bad Dog, is I think he disabled the trade logic on Madden where you can just, force trades. I think that's what he's thinking he's doing right now. But James, this is a mess. This is I got to get to Omar because you and I talk about this. Carter was overrated. I basically had one good year at Penn State for sacks, took advantage of being labeled as the next Parsons. He is no Parsons.
No, doesn't look like it, at least not yet.
How many times, James, that you and I talked about, and I kept telling you, his first 2 seasons at Penn State as an off-the-ball linebacker were horrid. His first 2 seasons did not equal, and he started those first 2 seasons, did not equal the total number of tackles Parson had in his freshman year and Parsons didn't start a single game for Penn State and led the team in tackles. He would have been a 5th to 6th round pick, Parsons. Not Parsons, excuse me, Abdul Carter, if he stayed as an off-the-ball linebacker. They moved him because of his speed. They moved him because of his quickness. They also moved him at a necessity because they lost a pick in the first round that year. Penn State did, and someone in the second round, so they needed a defensive end. People talk about his 24, the 24 tackles for losses, but people always hate it because I bring it up. That college stats scoring is different than the NFL. They count a sack.
What did you just say?
I know.
Say that again.
College stats are different than NFL stats, the scoring.
Oh, holy smokes, Batman.
I know. So they don't count you. In college, if you have a sack, that is counted as a tackle for a loss. So really, he really only had 12 tackles for losses. But we don't want to talk about that. But we always said he is undersized. I said to him, and right now, if you take a look at the guy in Jacksonville, that both of them had bust written all over them. Now it's only 3 games into their career, but you have to have somewhat of a concern because of the fact that we said it before. You and I were talking about it. There were 3 plays in Dallas that Abdul Carter got taken off his feet, one-on-one blocking against the tackle. There was 3 plays last night where he got taken off his feet. Now, the worst thing you can do as a defensive end, especially when you're going against a tackle, is to get lifted off your feet. That is the worst possible thing you can humanly do.
Yeah, you got yoked up.
And I mean, but so like I said, and people get mad because I'm saying this over and over again. He's Bryce Huff. Put him in a situation where he's a pass rush. They did it the last 2 preseason games. They rotated him on obvious passing downs and third down, and he was somewhat productive, except the day he got pancaked by a third-string Home Depot tight end. But he is a guy that you need to situationally scheme for.
The 2 scariest thing for me is I give Kayvon a lot of grief here, but Kayvon right now is playing better than Carter.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. The play last night with Carter, and these are just facts. These are just facts. Carter on the rush on Holmes, my homeboy, you have the sideline there. If you can't bring him down, at worst, just push him out of bounds.
Right.
He shouldn't be able to shake you off, tiptoe by the sideline, get free, and then launch a play where one of our great secondary defenders commits a penalty, and now they're in scoring position.
Yep.
But it would have been stopped if you don't have to tackle him. You don't have to hit him. Another crazy thing, just real last thing I'll say about this dude, because I like Scatterable, but the reality is on Scatterable, if you watch a lot of his plays, guys are running into him because they don't know how to tackle and they see that he's small. So they're just banging into him, and he is able to bounce that off. But if you notice, anytime somebody wraps him up properly, he goes down like a wet leaf. He's not breaking any tackles once somebody gets some hands on him. If you just shoulder him, he might be able to, and he'll rhino his way through. But anytime somebody, he's not going anywhere. So we have a lot of players here that we hope will be good. We hope will develop, but we have to wait and see, honestly. Just like with Dart, we hope he's going to be good. We want him. We need him to be good. Now it's at the point of need. We need Jackson Dart to be good, and we want him to be good. But we have to wait and see, especially with this coaching staff.
Jay, I got to get to Jay Ferries for a second here. Jay, I gotta knock you down a little bit here. Reggie White and Michael Strahan didn't start dominating game 1 of their careers. Jay, Reggie White, first 3 seasons in Philadelphia, 13 sacks, 18 sacks, 21 sacks. Do you know how many tackles? This is why I love fans. Reggie White, his tackle total, his first season with the Eagles, 100 tackles. His second season, 98 tackles. His third season, where he had 21 sacks, 76 tackles. Yeah, Reggie White came also over from the Memphis Showboats from the USFL, but he had a immediate impact on this team.
Yes.
Michael Strahan, who you want to bring up. Michael Strahan was a 2nd-round pick. He was not a guy that came into the league the 3rd overall pick. Michael Strahan didn't really start his career until he only played 9 games his rookie year because of injuries. But his second season, he had 40 tackles for 4 sacks, 7.5 and 58 tackles next season. And he didn't really kick it up until 1997, but he was a rotational guy that was a run stopper. And he was not expected as the 3rd overall pick to be the next. Hey, you know what? I would like to wear Lawrence Taylor's number. No, Strahan was a 2nd round pick coming off of injuries that was a run-stopping defensive end that progressed in year 4, but Strahan is also 6'5", 200 and almost 70 pounds by the time that he was in his 4th season.
But you could even lower the bar. We don't have to go right to the greats, the great greats like Reggie and Mike. Look at an OCU Manura, who is kind of similar to Carter in the fact that they use speed over strength, even though OC is stronger than Carter from what I can see already. But OCU Manura, if you go back to Tuck, when these guys first played, you could see in their first few games, oh, there's something there. This guy could be a real disruptor. We throw that word around, but it's like if you flash in the pants 1 or 2 times, you're not really disrupting.
Do you want to talk about OCU Manura, who played 13 games, only started 1 his first season? Got to remember.
Oh, yes, I do.
OCU Manura did not grow up playing football. OCU Manura, of course, as we know, is from the UK. He didn't start playing football until I believe his senior year in high school. And by his 2nd season, he already went from playing in 16 games, only starting 7, having 7 sacks and 66 tackles. By year 3, again, he had 14.5 sacks and 7 tackles, OCU Manura. And this is a guy that didn't grow up playing football.
And he was not a top 10 pick.
No. OCU Manura, 2nd round pick, 56 overall out of all places, Troy University.
These are just facts, guys. Like, we're not dumping on our own guys. All I'm saying, and all Tim has been trying to say, is let the guys play. Let's see what they really can do. A couple plays does not mean they're a franchise guy.
Right.
That's all.
Cam Scatteraboo had 3 plays for 23 yards, 3 rushes. And then he had another 8 rushes for I think 30 something yards. So, yeah, and he's not going to be a breakout back like Saquon Barkley because of the idiot on Bad Dog show that was like, well, Saquon Barkley ran the ball 15 times for 55 and then had 1 play for 70. Cam Scatteraboo's not taking it 70. I'm sorry. He's Wayne Gallman with less speed.
But that's the whole point of a guy like a Saquon. Again, do we understand talent levels where, yes, Saquon will have 3 or 4 plays where he doesn't go anywhere, but he is a home run every time he touches the ball possibility.
I keep telling people this, and no one wants to listen to it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And I'm losing my voice here. Don't just look at stats. Don't just look at, 10 carries for 60 yards. You need, especially with a bruising back, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Scatteraboo. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but he needs to learn that some plays you just have to give up on, first of all. Second of all, look at yards after contact. Don't look at just yards per carry. Look at yards after contact and then come back and talk to me. Because I already know the answer.
Simple facts.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, we it's weird. It's Big L Gigante, mi hermano. I thought he said something in the chat. He said he runs like he's trying to beat up his bullies every his childhood bully every run, and it's like you don't have to do that every run. Every run is not the end of the world.
I don't see Big L. Where's Big L?
It was before I hopped on. He was in there.
Oh, I didn't see Big L. There's so many people in the chat today. But I love it.
Coach D, thank you. Like, why we jumped to this thing of Reggie White, Michael Strahan is one of the greatest defenders in Giants history and in the lore of just NFL history. Reggie White is one of the greatest of all time. Not arguable. We can't compare this kid to those guys. We can't, not right now.
All I'm saying about with Abdul Carter is I said it before. I understood why the Giants took him at 3. Not really. I didn't understand it. I would have traded out and grabbed Ty Warren, who's on pace to have 76 receptions and over 1,100 yards receiving at the tight end position, which would have opened up the middle of the field for someone like Cam Scatterbo and Tyrone Tracy and giving you a safety net for Jackson Dart if you decide to play him early. But what the fuck do I know? But you can't take a guy at 3rd overall if you're not going to play him 85, 90% of the snaps.
Yeah, that's weird.
Especially when he's in an integral position. Strider, I've been putting the damn link in the chat. You haven't fucking come on. But he's in an integral position at both defensive end and linebacker, and you're not playing him. And when you're playing him more and more, and there is a reason why he's not being played as an off-the-ball linebacker. He's not good at tackling in space or in the open field. And he showed that at Penn State, and he's shown that in the limited time he's here. Like I said, keep him as a situational pass rusher. Let him get his 38 tackles. And I said it before, he's a guy to my mind that can get you 12.5 sacks if you use him situationally.
But we on this team and this franchise, given our position, we did not need a situational player at a top 5 pick. We did not need that.
When we have 2 of them in both Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns.
Yeah, like we already we don't need a guy that's not going to be out there every down making impact if it's just certain packages, certain plays. Because we already have a guy in Dart that wasn't going to start game 1. So you're telling me our 2 first-round picks are not every down guys to start the season. That's kind of weird.
And you and I talked about the fact that I have never seen that since watching football since 76. I've never seen 2 first-round picks who were slated not to play integral roles or roles in the entire game plan of a team. Never seen that. And then you trade up to get a guy.
2 that are not playing every down. At least one of them. That's weird.
And he's taking 3rd overall.
Like, again, I said this, I think, when I first got on one of Tim's early streams years ago when I first met him. Whenever we take a guy in the top 10 in any sport, to me, you have to either be a gold jacket player, you have to change life, or you have to be greatly consistent like an Amani Toomer.
Yeah.
Something along those realms. A top 10 pick, that's what you hope them to be. Not situational, not flash in the pants, not, well, we think this guy is good. Top 10, top 5. I mean, come on, top 5.
You know what's funny? And thank you for the super chat, Andrew, because all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. We were talking about general managers and presidents of football operations, and the name that keeps coming up a lot that I hear, and actually, I think you may have to give up a draft choice or 2. But I think you could do it, kind of do what Tampa did with John Gruden when they traded the 1st-round pick for him. I like John Lynch.
Yeah.
John Lynch, and again, I'm not just liking John Lynch because I know him from Tampa. I like John Lynch because of the fact that no one gave him any credit when he got that job with the 49ers. He did the Trey Lance thing. He did some things that doesn't make a great amount of sense, but he has done stuff for that 49er team since his regime. And he has kept that team relevant for he's been there since when did he get there? He got there.
He's been there a minute now.
He got there in 17. And I find it funny though, because do you know what his title is, James? John Lynch is right now?
It's like his official title there with the team? No.
Title, it is President of Football Operations / General Manager. So he has been with them since 17. I think that you could probably pry him away from the 49ers. I think he is a guy that, like I said, I've met him sparingly in Tampa. He's a guy that enjoys a challenge. And I think if you did something like some draft choices, then I think you can pry him away. If you take a look at it, his early seasons, he was 6-10, 4-12. He went 13-3, 6-10, 10-7, 13-4, 12-5. He had 6-11, but he didn't have a quarterback, and now he's 3-0, still without a quarterback. I mean, I think John Lynch to me would be the perfect president of football operations.
If he's been there since 17, then he's been there long enough that we all can see that he's acquired a good amount of talent there in his time there and helped build up that roster. I mean, they've made a couple Super Bowls, with different quarterbacks at the helm, mind you. So, yeah, I mean, John Lynch, I wasn't even thinking about that. But my problem with us is, are we going to even think about something like that? Like, would we even hey, put a flyer out there?
Right. Mason Graham has only got 3 tackles and half a sack in Cleveland. He's helped Myles Garrett, but I don't think he would have been an awesome fit. You would have had to have moved on from Dexter Lawrence. We talked about that. I talked about the fact that I actually liked Mason Graham a lot coming out of Michigan, and I think he would have been a good fit in the interior of the line with having Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. But to bring him in, you would have to have gotten rid of Dexter Lawrence, which I didn't have a problem with, because then you could have Mason Graham, who went 5th overall, and then you could have gotten the assets for Dexter Lawrence. No, I don't think he's leaving the 49ers either, but I do think he is a guy that could have a challenge. We got to bring him in here because I'm losing my voice here. I'm doing it. L. He represents Queens. I was raised out of Brooklyn. Big L Gigantic. Oh, I love the piano.
What's up? What's going on?
What's up, Rocket Man?
What we doing?
Well, I'm dying.
Oh no.
Team sucks.
Team sucks. Everyone in the house is sick.
I called to talk about the Knicks.
That our home openers in 30 days.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I was like, why are we even talking about the Giants? Do they even count anymore? Like,
no, of course they don't count anymore.
It's RIP already. Somebody said it on the chat. RIP to New York Giants.
It's done. We're done.
We're done.
In September, we're already cooked.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. We listen. We like to finish fast. All right.
That's what she said.
Yes, we like to finish.
What was that? What was that? There was a meme for what's his name, Cardi B, and what's his name? They said what is it? Finish the phrase, and he said leave it, and he said in.
God. Oh my God.
I love it because Stay Humble on Twitter posted to El Jefe that Online Big Blue is not a hater, but has been right about almost everything, right about this regime, has almost done wrong, what is done wrong and what is doing wrong, and ends up being right 80% of the time. Well, thank you, Stay Humble. I don't know if Mr. Jefe said, I like Mr. Jefe. I don't think he said anything bad. Or maybe he did. And then if he did, fuck you. No. I like Mr. Jefe. He's on New York Giants Revival, so I like it.
But if we're
copy.
We are the honesty crew out here, right? I mean, the OBB clan, we're honest. We keep it real. We keep it a buck, right? How are we? Why are we that surprised? Like, we've seen this movie already.
We're not.
We've seen this movie for like 3-4 years now, and we're like, it's the same movie. It's just it turns into some excitement, but then you know that you're going to be disappointed at the end because you know this is going to end the same way.
You know it's going to crash. And honestly, if we have been predicting this crash since, I don't know. My prediction was a 5-win season.
Whew.
And James brought up the fact that I was talking about 3-3, and I was like, well, no, I was talking about 3-3, and I said, if you want to prove that this is a team that's worth anything, you have to go 3-3 in your first 6, and you got to go 6-5 over your last 11. And if you think you're anything, you should be able to be one game over 500.
Yeah, that's positivity.
That's
optimism.
Positivity. But the problem was, I also said in the same sentence that we're a 5-win team. And I'm thinking now, after looking at this schedule, I'm not even sold on the Saints game.
No, exactly. I was going to say the Saints. They put up points. Like they were up there. Like they were competitive.
Yeah,
we're going into a fight thinking we're going to win, and I said, like, the same way we're looking at them, they're looking at us the same way.
Exactly.
We're
We
not
got a shirt
impressive.
that says we're the get right game. We are the get right game. That's
Spencer Rattler's going to look like what he was supposed to be.
Yeah. What he should have been.
He's going to go back to his high school glory days.
Exactly. Yo, Travis Kelce, the grin that he had was like, yo, we just playing around with these dudes, man. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, we're done. Like, come on, man. Just give me the ball. And he just got that one completion. It was a wrap. I just felt like it was done. There was nothing we could do. Even when it was 9-6, he had this grin on his face, like, come on, man, what the fuck are we doing here? Come on, Pat. Just give me the damn ball.
Come on, Pat.
Let's get this going. Yo, did you see how Patrick Mahomes just stiffed Abdul Carter? He stiff armed him.
Yes.
He stiff
armed him. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yo, how is he stiff arming you, bro? You got at least another 20, 30 pounds on him. How is he
I think James said it best the other day. James said, if I went into the gym every day for a month and worked out, that I would be stronger than Abdul Carter.
I'm dead serious.
And I was like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah. Because we've seen that. First of all, this is the thing with Abdul Carter. Strength is not his forte.
No.
I don't need him to be this strong player. I need him to be an aggressive pass rusher that takes advantage of his speed and is put into the game situation. I always go back to Jerry Oslowski interview that we did. Or no, it wasn't even an interview. He was on a live stream with us for 2 hours, a former offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills. I always go back to that interview because I asked him directly, would he draft Abdul Carter? And he was like, no. And then he asked me, would you play him at linebacker? And I was like, no. And then he goes, well, why would you take him third overall? He goes, he's a guy that loves Penn State. And he goes, he's a situational pass rusher. And he's going to get pushed around. And he even said, he's going to get pushed around in this league because of his size. So use him what he is. And I know fans are going to hate this because they hate me in general, but fans are going to hate this. Lower his snap count.
Yo, the whole point of situational just doesn't sound good.
Well, it's not.
When does somebody just call you, yo, you're going to be a situational today?
Well, that's
how are you going to get called into work, James? Say you're just going to be situational.
You're just situational.
Yeah, we got a per diem pass rusher.
The thing is this: when you are slight of build like he is, even at 6'3", and this is the thing: this guy has played in 70% of the Giants' defensive snaps this year. This is a guy. I don't know what the numbers are yet because I don't get the full numbers, the advanced stat numbers till Wednesday. But he rushed Dak Prescott 47 times.
All for nothing.
All for nothing. He has a half a sack in 3 games. They have him projected to have, which I don't understand how this is possible, but they have him projected to have 2.5 sacks and 40 tackles over 17 games.
Wow. Wait, whoa. Wait. Say that again?
That's Abdul Carter. That's his number.
This is Abdul Carter. They have him projected, ESPN and other people, to have 2.5 sacks in 17 games.
Nice. All that third
and
overall.
He rushed Dak Prescott 47. Everyone loves to talk about the win-loss, the pass rusher win ratio. Okay, you rush someone 47 times and you never get to him and you hit him once. I think your pass rush ratio is not very good. I'm just throwing that out there. So what you need to do, and fans aren't going to like it, and Jerry Oslowski talked about this. And like I said, this is a guy that played 10 years in the NFL as an offensive lineman, played with Jim Kelly, came in just at the end of the Super Bowl run, so it's not coming from me. He even said I would play him 35 to 38% of the time and just have him in as a situational pass rusher.
That sounds like you're a liability.
No, but that's just what he is talent-wise, and it's not a slight against him. It's just you're overdrafted for your position. I said it before. If he would have came out with an off-the-ball linebacker, he probably would have been a 5th or a 6th round pick. But but you need to keep him fresh because if you watched him towards the end of the game, when you're attacking style defense, you should be wearing down the offense. Your defensive line, your ends should not be wearing down because they're overused more out throughout the game. Because in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, I need to giddy up to go after and get the fucking quarterback.
Yeah,
but we just don't have D tackles that actually play the run.
Well, what do you mean? We have Dexter Lawrence.
Exactly, and he's getting double team and triple team and he just like, yo, and you can just tell like he's done with it.
You want to hear something even sillier? Because some people don't. I'm not saying you, Big Al, but some people don't watch the game as much as they should. Dexter Lawrence is not getting teamed as much as possible, as much as people think.
No, but it's just like
which is why they're eliminating Brian. They're double teaming Brian Burns more than they're double teaming Dexter Lawrence.
And then it's
Dexter's at like 40%.
Yeah,
and it's the off tackle stuff too. Like they just run off tackle and then they seal the edge, and that's it.
We've given up 100 yards rushing 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and we gave it up to Kansas City, whose leading rusher is Patrick Mahomes. I love this one, James. I do have to cut that. We need a per diem pass rusher soundbite.
But that's what he is. He's a per diem on call. Hey man, we got a shift open. Kayvon's tired. You want to come in and rush the quarterback?
Everyone has it.
Yo, it's open. Come in, bro. We got you.
We're like, hey man, hey, you want to get some time in?
Well, somebody.
I know you're just chilling, looking good.
Somebody called out. Come through.
Come
and let's not forget. And I hate to, but again, this is where social media drives these kids the wrong way. He put out a tweet a couple weeks ago that said pass rushers are the new quarterback of the NFL. So then what kind of quarterback are you?
Per diem.
Guys, we still have 100 something people watching on YouTube, and we have 150 something watching on the other platform. So make sure you're hitting the like button. We only have 92 likes. We have 260 people watching. So make sure.
Come on, we got to at least get a buck, man.
We got to get a buck before we leave.
Come on. Listen, 8 more. Come on, y'all.
I am literally dying.
We got the king of YouTube out here, Tim.
Yeah, I am dying, but I wanted to hear from everyone because this is what makes the show run. Blackbird said we won 12 games since our 7-2 start. Yes. I have literally been saying that, but don't worry, Blackbird. I'm the negative one. Not our record.
That's over years. That's over years, yeah.
2022, right?
Our record's not negative. Our win-loss total's not negative, even though it's negative. I'm the negative one.
Wow, that's like 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago?
3 years ago. 3 years ago.
That's insane, bro.
3 years ago, that has been that way. We got 92. Let's get to 100. James is right. Let's get to 100 likes.
I'm not gonna lie. I like looking at the schedule. We have to be real.
103.
Oh, we got it. Thanks, you. Thank you for supporting the cult leader.
There you go. There you go.
That means the Giants will win one game this season. I already said if we got 100 likes, the Giants will win one game this season.
You just don't know.
And it won't be the Saints game. It'll be a different game. I'm telling you.
If you look and to the people that are saying John Lynch isn't coming here, no, John Lynch is not coming here.
No, we're just
The question was, who would I go after? And I would go after John Lynch. Sometimes
listen.
Sometimes you got to back.
Hold on, Tim. We didn't think Michael Parsons would be on Green Bay either.
Yeah, it's true.
We got to be real here. I didn't think Luka Doncic would be on the Lakers. Yeah. So sometimes you got to just pick up the phone and put out a call.
Yeah,
you're right.
I would
let's be real here. Just put in a call.
I would go after McVay. That's what I would do.
No, I think McVay is going to retire. I think
we have a better chance of Lynch than McVay.
He almost quit once. And I wouldn't want.
That's the thing, right? His grandfather. The only thing is his grandfather coached here, right? Something like that.
Yeah, yes, John McVay, and John McVay was a terrible head coach. Was one of the worst coaches we ever had. So yes, let's go out and get another McVay. What could possibly fucking go wrong?
Your grandson went to a Super Bowl and won one.
But I would think about McVay as the coach, but not as a director of football. President.
No, I'm just saying as a real like a head coach, at least a guy that has done it at the highest level.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that takes like 2 years off and goes to the booth. He's got young kids, So I mean, I think if he doesn't win this year, I think
Tomlin out of Pittsburgh after this year.
Tomlin's out of Pittsburgh every year since 2004, and he wasn't even there in 2004. He was there in like 2000.
I was say they try to drum that poor black man out of town every offseason.
Yeah,
and to James's point, we're not going to hire him because he's black.
Because he's black. That's right.
So
we didn't hire Flores.
We didn't hire Flores, and Flores sued us.
Just say.
Because he was the wrong Brian, y'all.
He wasn't
the wrong
Tom.
Brian.
He wasn't Tom.
You got the
That's funny.
Brian.
Hey, listen, we're not even going to talk about the Giants and the Hispanic ratio with their diversity.
What ratio?
Dude, in the coaches club, she makes a great mac and cheese.
Wait, hold on. Oh, yes. Shout out to her. I love her. But, yo, we just signed Young Ho Kim. Shout out to our Asian brethren. Young Ho Kim. For real? Hey.
And I'm literally not going to.
Staying diverse, yo.
I'm literally not going to repeat the messages I sent to James on.
I'm just saying, Young Ho Kim. Hey, yo, man. Hey, listen. Gano went out there, kicked that, and said, ah! I got shot.
Yo, you notice how there's a pitch count now? I'm only kicking like 10-yard field goals now, or 10-yard.
I was like, I only kick on Wednesdays.
Yeah, we're on a per diem. We're on a per diem pass rusher.
We got per diem players. Even Jackson Dart is per diem. Come in here and hand off.
Exactly. Like we only got 3 plays for you, yo.
You can't throw it. Don't throw it. Just hand off.
That's it.
I was James and I were talking because we love the movie Necessary Roughness with Paul Blake, and I can't find the soundbite, but every time Jackson comes in, every time he comes in and runs the same play, there's a scene in Necessary Roughness where it's their first game of the season and they're trying to run off tackle, and Paul Blake, and they run it twice in a row, and it's like they get like negative 23 yards. And Paul Blake's in the huddle going, the coach calls the same play, and Paul Blake's about to call the play, and the linebacker who's called Sarge looks at Paul Blake and looks at him and just go, I think they're looking for that play, soldier. Every time it's the same play. For the love of God, they fucking figured it out. They figured it out, Sarge. I think you're looking for that play, soldier. Stop. You draft a guy 25th overall. You traded up to get him. Novel idea. You bring him in the game. Throw the fucking ball.
Just might as well let him throw the ball.
Let him throw it.
I don't know, bro.
Wilson's throwing to the tunnel.
Let him throw the ball. It can't be any worse than
Yo, they said he saw the 44. He saw the 44 jersey. He threw it over there.
Wilson said, I see Big L.
I know that on the sideline.
I mean, those throws, the receivers turned around like, holy shit. Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
There goes another move ball.
I love this. Abdul Carter, how can he play 3 games in the NFL and only have 5 tackles, no pressures, and no sacks?
5 tackles.
He's got a half a sack, though. He does have a half a sack.
No. 5 tackles. I could get out there and latch onto somebody's leg and get like 10 half a tackles. You only got 5 tackles?
But don't worry, he plays 70% of the snaps.
A number 3 pick, y'all, with 5 tackles.
Damn.
Let me stop. I don't want to start ranting now. It's right. We had a good. I don't want to stop.
I love Jay Ferris. Damn, a lot of content creators live in the same house. Lots of roommate drama. Oh my God, this has been a good therapy session, guys, for everyone, and you guys fucked me because I'm already over 2 hours, so now I can't cut this into short.
Oh no, you got to do work now, like the
No,
coaches.
I have to work. And this literally took all my remember First and 10? Yes, I do remember First and 10. That was actually that was an HBO show in the 80s. But yes, I do remember Tom Unessa. Tom Unessa was the quarterback initially on First and 10. Then they got the guy out of prison to be the quarterback, and he's the guy that's on not LA Law, whatever that show is. SVU. He's on SVU. Been on for 400 years. So no, I've seen that show. I don't know.
He's got 5 tackles in 3 games. He's a top 3 pick. But don't worry, he's going to be Reggie White.
But don't worry, though. Reggie White did not have a good year. Hi.
Bro, all we needed to know, he wore Micah Parsons' jersey.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
That's all you needed to know, bro. He was going to be the next Micah Parsons.
Well, I'm getting the 1 minute warning.
Uh-oh.
It's the 1 minute warning. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I've lost my mind. Okay, Giants suck. Knicks home openers in 30 days.
Yes.
We've coined the new phrase, the per diem pass rusher.
It's the truth, y'all. Like, I swear to Tim, you got to cut that. Per diem pass rusher at number 3. I've never seen it before.
We have to,
King almost sacked.
So now
by the way, also leave it to the Giants because they both. You remember that picture that you have with Jalen Hurts stiff arming, Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Well, he just got the same thing done by Mahomes.
But I don't know. I have to find that. I have to see if it's going to take. Yeah, we always have that one because that way we always just have readily available. That's readily available.
There you go. That's Mahomes, and then that's Carter.
Yeah, I have to look up. I have to see if I can't find that clip. I'll have to show.
Except that Mahomes actually threw him on the ground. Like he was already.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give Ghost Man a little credit. He didn't fall down. He just couldn't get over there. But Carter came over there, and Mahomes was like, "Get off me! You stop that!"
All I'm gonna say is this. anyone that can find that clip, send it to me. Because I'm too lazy.
You get your hands off me, young man.
I'm not gonna look for that clip. But everyone that finds that clip, make sure you email me. Someone find it and send it to me so we can have it for the show on Sunday. Because we're gonna need it with per diem pass rusher, and I'm gonna have to come up with a sound effect for that. Got to come up with a new sound bite. The first sound bite of the 2025 season. All right, guys, I'm done. I gotta go upstairs. I'm tired. I gotta go lay down.
Like this pass rush?
Yo, he already collected his per diem. He's done.
He's done. Your shift is over.
I want to thank the 255 people that are still hanging out and hanging in there with this. And Mahomes did take the ball from Bobby Okereke. Yeah, we're gonna find that clip. But
he did the old lady in Seinfeld with the bread. Give me that, you old bag.
Give me your lunch, kid.
All right.
Give me that.
Don't forget FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in the nation. Also, you win on a $5 bet, get $300 in site credits for the NFL. Don't forget ZipRecruiter. Also, if you're looking for the talent, just remember 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate within the first day. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Try it for free with the exclusive web offer. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. This is Tim. This is James. This is all the fun stuff. I'm glad everyone had a good time. And I don't know when you'll see me again. Whenever I come back out of this coma, we'll make sure that everything's rocking and rolling. I want to thank James. I want to thank Big Al. I want to thank everyone that came in to the chat today. It's been a lot of fun. Just too bad the games aren't any fun. And once again, as always, we are out of here.